Welcome back to the channel. Today we're in the Jets playbook here, looking at Singleback ace close, and this is a super simple scheme that pretty much anybody can run. You don't have to make a lot of adjustments. The reads are super simple, and it's pretty effective, right? You get pretty decent run game, pretty decent pass play. So let's just get right into it here. Let's start with the run game here. We have the stretch, we have the inside zone weak, and of course, if you watch these videos, we talk about it every time. We want to run right, we want to be able to run left. Here, this scheme, obviously it's a little bit different because we're in practice mode here, so you don't get the animation. You can flip this left and right because it's symmetrical, right? I mean, both sides look the same, right? We have tight end on both sides, we have receiver in the both same alignments. We can flip this as many times as we want. But with the inside zone weak and the stretch, we're kind of using these as an inside run and an outside run. So we still are able to flip left and right, but we are able to go inside with it and outside. So obviously you can see like the green box is right. Yeah, that's where you kind of want to run. So it was off to the left this time, so we kind of want to run it off to the left. And of course, if they start stacking in the middle, you're able to run outside. If they start, here we actually run a pass play here. It was kind of go down. If they start stacking the bodies to the outside, maybe the user starts over pursuing to the outside, that you still have the zone weak. And of course, if you want to cut down on redundancy, and maybe you like one more pass play here, you can obviously just go to the zone weak. You can kind of cut this inside. Here, I was trying to show an example where you cut it to the outside as well, but you can cut it inside, you can cut it outside. Very nice run. The stretch as well. I like to have the stretch in there in my typical adjustments, just because I like the stretch so much, especially if you have those really good blocking tight ends. But run game, of course, nothing too crazy. Don't want to go too in depth, I guess. I mean, everybody's kind of ran the ball before. Here we kind of get an opportunity to almost bounce it out to the left, but you get the idea with the stretch. In the halfback zone weak, obviously we can run the zone weak to the right side as well. Same thing. So run game out of this, really nice. We didn't break too many there, but with these pass plays here, once your opponent stops kind of stacking the box and stuff like that, you'll be able to hit these a little bit better. So first one here, short game we want to go to is stick, and really what I like to do here is just streak one of these outside receivers here on a streak. They're kind of in that tender spot here against a cover 3 look, kind of a closed look, where the safety is, just a single high. We're kind of thinking cover 3, so we can kind of hit these seams. So I'd like to streak one of those guys. If you would have Hot Route Master, putting them on a crosser, putting both guys on a crosser, putting both outside receivers on a crosser, really nice. And then the tight ends inside, just running those check downs. I've liked those routes for 2 years now. They break out against man really well, settle down against zone. Just a really nice option. Kind of tough for the user to cover, obviously, both sides if they settle down against zone. So we'll kind of streak the other guy here. We'll streak Garrett Wilson over here to that side. There you can see, maybe with a throwing ability, kind of tough right there. But that's the idea. We are trying to stress those seams. And here, I mean, against cover 2, this is really where you'd like to have Hot Route Master, maybe be able to put like a post on the field, something like that. And here, I mean, like that guy just gets left open, right? Uzama just gets left open. So a lot of times, if you can get that blocked up, you do have a 6-man protection with the running back here as well. So you have that 6-man protection. You should be able to get it blocked up. You should be able to get back to either one of those checkdowns on either side of the field. Here again, I mean, you get that cover 2 look, that kind of cycle to cover 3. I mean, that's just weird right there, but we'll take it. You get the idea. Short passing game. You're not going to spam it or anything like that, but being able to have it in your bag is important. So next one here is bench. And of course, I mean, bench, really what I like to do traditionally is just this. Put the halfback on just on an option route and just run it. Just run it. I mean, you're trying to set up those deep corner routes, right? Of course, Lazard drops at that time. Actually, it was knocked out by Petrie. But you're really trying to set up those corner routes. Of course, you can always block up the running back and just run bench like bench. Let those corner routes go to work. Do a fairly good job against man. Here it was out of bounds. But they do a decent job against man, breaking out against man. Pretty decent. I do like to block my running back a decent amount of time. They do pretty well in the pass game this year. And I'm throwing it off to the right a lot, but it's the same thing off to the left, obviously mirroring it on the left side of the field. Another thing we can do with this here is just basically streak, or not streak. I mean, you can really do anything with these tight ends. I mean, you can streak them, you can drag them. Here, maybe you streak them like that. Try to kind of like attack that middle of the field there. You kind of saw too high. They rotated down anyway. But I mean, we can streak both of them, maybe something like this. Block up the running back. Really anything you can do with these tight ends inside. I mean, just wherever you see I mean, we can't complete a pass right now to save our lives. But wherever you see weaknesses in defense, like you see 2 high safeties, okay, man, okay, maybe we want to, maybe we do want to streak one of these guys, block up the running back, drag underneath, something like that, and kind of be able to get to everything. And I really wanted to hit that route, and he dropped it anyway. But you get the idea with that, right? I'm just trying to set up these. Trying to set up these tight ends to use the corner routes, obviously being able to run at stock. I don't really like to keep my running back on a block and release. I really like to just know what he's doing, when he's going to block, if he's going to block, stuff like that. So, good stuff there. Taking the time out from the video here, I just want to thank you guys for clicking on the video and watching here. If you're liking what you're seeing, go ahead and click the subscribe button. I just want to remind you to do that here. Trying to get over that 1,000 subscriber mark. That's a big milestone, so we're looking to get there here. Hopefully by the end of the year as the new season starts here. And yeah, just appreciate you guys checking out the videos, clicking the like, clicking the subscribe, commenting, all that good stuff. And yeah, I'll keep it short and sweet and send it back to the video. Okay, and for our final play here, we're looking at Y seam, and we'll just kind of match again with really any nickel here. So Y seam, as you see, Uzomah is kind of on like a corner route, stop and come back. You come back and get curl. We can pretty much streak him, and pretty much what we're trying to do with our tight ends is carry these zones down the field for our underneath routes. Of course, you can always block your running back as well. And again, like I said, we're using those tight ends. Of course, we get bumped in the middle, so we don't get those guys across very well. But using those tight ends, carry the routes down the field, open it up for those. They're really having a tough time getting across the field for some reason here. Of course, on your mud team, though, you're going to have faster guys eventually and stuff like that. And, of course, don't be afraid to hit these seams as well. I mean, there we continuously are getting man over and over and over again, apparently, in practice mode. They don't mix in zones at all. But don't be afraid to hit those things when you do get zones. Those seam routes are very good for it. Of course, having them on both sides does stop the user from just picking a side and kind of, you know, getting their way with you there and kind of picking you off, kind of baiting you into it. But really nice play, just as kind of a final addition. Here we're hitting those seams over and over again, but of course the drag is what we're really trying to set up over and over again. If we're trying to hit something over and over again, it would be those drags. Here they're kind of blitzing. They actually didn't really blitz, but I mean, same thing with the drags underneath, kind of setting them on the crossers makes it really tough for the user. Just a tough scheme for the user to guard overall. Having stuff going on both sides of the field, in both directions, right? Like having corner routes go on both sides, right? The user can't just pick a corner route and go pick it, right? They can't just throw a single purple out there to the right side. They throw them out to the left side too, right? Same thing on stick, right? Can't just guard one tight end route. Have to guard both tight end option routes, things like that, right? Can't just guard one seam. Have to guard both seams. So overall, really good. I mean, and you see sometimes that just happens, right? The zones get messy in Madden, and sometimes that happens whenever you're running just drags underneath, just running mesh underneath. But really, that's the whole scheme here. Hope you guys did enjoy out of this Jets playbook. Really like this Jets playbook here overall. Some pretty nice stuff out of there. Aaron Rodgers and the new look Jets here. So good stuff out of this one here. Still pushing for 1,000 subs. To subscribe if you did like that. Still trying to pump out this content. Looking to do some MUT season stuff, looking to do some reg stuff like that. A little bit different videos on the channel, so we'll have those in the work in process phase here, but we are working on them, trying to get them out. But for the meantime, we do have these schemes. So if you like these, so subscribe to the channel, like the video, all the good stuff. Yeah, hope to catch you guys in the next one.